Now, as far as virus discovery methods are concerned, you need to know that, first of all, there's not a single great solution out there. It's a combination of things. And when we first start talking about these different discovery methods, the first one that obviously comes to everybody's mind is the scanning. Now, when we're talking about scanning, all we're talking about here is basically having some type of antivirus solution installed on your systems to help protect it. Now, again, I'm not here to tell you guys which is the best antivirus product out there to use. In fact, I think that's all based off of time frame, because literally in a month or 2 months or 3 months, it always changes in who everybody thinks is the best. I will throw a little plug in. I know that Microsoft's Forefront Security Solutions actually has up to 5 antivirus scanning engines for the Exchange servers, which is kind of cool. And I wish we had more and more solutions that were that flexible. Unfortunately, that also slows things down, right? And you have to remember that these antivirus products are only able to find malware that they're aware of. So if it's a 0-day malware, the odds are it's not going to find it. Which always leads me down the road of, the famous stories of my nieces and nephews contacting me, or even friends, about something's happened to my machine, Uncle Dale. And my first question is your antivirus up to date? And it's always, oh yeah, it expired last month. Now there's also some common sense items that we can apply, as well as make sure we teach to our users. And that is when it deals with emails. Here's a golden rule for you. If it looks suspicious, then consider it suspicious. If you're not expecting an email from somebody and they send one to you out of the blue with weird subjects, or hey, check out this link, or the header looks like it's similar to an email address of a relative or someone that you know, do me a favor, don't click on it. Unless it's from me, then go ahead and click on it. Yeah. Now, in the background of what's happening during scanning is that when a virus gets detected, obviously the antivirus vendors are going to start to look at different ways that they can identify this particular virus. They usually do this with what they refer to as a signature string. Now, these strings are extracted from the virus and they're added as a declaration of being infected to their antivirus database. So as they scan your system, if the strings match, you'll be warned. Now, one of the tricky things that takes place here is that when a malicious hacker writes a virus, he'll often try to create viruses just by simply modifying existing ones. That's why we always have these variations of the same virus over and over. For example, MyDoom had several different variations. And the reason why the malicious attackers do this is that the frequent changes actually throw off the scanners because there's new signature strings that are being generated. Now, they not only rely on these signature strings, but the antivirus companies will use what they refer to as code analysis. This is typically the difference between a quick scan and a thorough scan. A quick scan is just looking at strings, where the in-depth scans are typically looking a little bit deeper into your files to see if any of the code resembles that which they've already discovered off these new pieces of malware. The next method of discovery is what we refer to as integrity checking. Now, these type of products can actually go through and verify, and some of these are actually now built into our operating systems, especially when it comes to the Windows platform, the latest and greatest by Microsoft, where the OS actually checks to see if the core files or system files have been modified, or they would consider them corrupt. And if so, it'll try to recover those for you. Now, in your immediate future, you might see something about integrity checking, in particular 2 different products, one called Tripwire, or one that's built into the operating system for Microsoft, and that is SIGVERF. And SIGVERF just simply goes through and helps to verify the integrity of your critical files on your system. Tripwire is actually a company that makes a file integrity and change monitoring system that's designed for the enterprise level. It actually monitors in real time, tells you who, what, where, when a file is modified. And then next we have interception. This method actually utilizes what we refer to as interceptors. So an interceptor simply maintains or looks at the requests that are made to the operating system for network access, as well as some specific actions that helps to identify threats that are being made to programs. If it sees one of these threats come up, the interceptor will typically have a pop-up to notify the user that they're about to do something or something's about to take place that makes a change. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about here, right? If you're from the Windows world, we refer to it as the UAC, which is that feature of Windows that everybody seems to disable. They don't understand what's happening here is that the UAC is designed to protect you. And we have the same thing when it comes to both Linux and iOS when you get the prompts to enter in a root password, right? So you can see that because there are different methods of discovery, this is a continual battle. And personally, I don't think there's a single best solution. I think it's always a combination of things. And it's not always software driven. Although software does help us, to me, there's a lot of common sense that needs to be deployed.